Shit. Okay. All right. Sorry. Off to the wrong start already. Okay. I'm talking to the mic, thinking the mic's picking up, but this mic is picking it up. Sorry. All right. Thank you, Nikki. Good God. Anyway, yeehaw! We'll do this shit again. Yeah. Hey, welcome back. It's Mitch over here at Revolution Radio. I'm on YouTube right now because I'm just breaking the fucking rules. If I talk all this fucking shit at Revolution Radio, because, well, they don't like the F bomb. And I understand that. That's okay. But listen, man, what the fuck do you got to say? What the fuck.com is probably already taken, I'm sure, 6 ways to Sunday, but damn it, I'm telling you, it's what the hell is going on today that the world is being, well, wrapped up in stupidity. And hell, you got to be careful what you say. Shh. You got to be careful how you say it. You might offend somebody. Ah, man, I'm telling you. And, in this, listen, people, Revolution Radio is kind of an introductory thing. And man, it's been a great thing for me. But I gotta kind of expand out, I, I'm dealing and fooling with this. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Nikki and Kathy and Rich and Dan, and Johnny, and there's Navy. Hey Navy, how you doing? Thank you. And after this show, about 10:15, 10:30, 10:15, I'm going to go over on locals.com and I'm going to talk a lot more. Hey, it's Darren's popped in. We're going to talk a lot more about the pandemic that we all experienced and all of the lies and all of the stuff that we have experienced in the last year and the ongoing conspiracy, as many of us see it, against, well, against real science. Against real science, okay? Let's say it like that. Ah, shit. Man, I'm telling you. It is just crazy. So what's really the big story? Oh hell, I don't know. There are several big news stories out here, but nobody's really talking about them. Like, how about the 0-calorie sweetener ethanol? Yeah, Ritherol? Hell, I can't even pronounce it. Now, all of you people that love your 0-calorie sweeteners, okay? Now, maybe this is a wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm sorry, man. Listen, maybe this is kind of linked to that other thing that we can't talk about that is being used as, Patsy. Has 0-calorie sweetener ever been used as a patsy before? Anyway, it is alleged that at CNN.com, okay, so take that for whatever you wish, that a 0-calorie sweetener has been linked to, guess what? Heart attacks, blood clotting, stroke, death. I'm sorry. That's pretty fucking convenient, isn't it? Yes, a sugar replacement called Rithorol. I guess that anyway, it's added in bulk or to sweeten sativa, monk fruit, and keto reduced sugar products. It quote unquote has been linked to blood clotting, stroke, heart attack, and death, according to a new study. The degree of risk is not modest. Oh, not modest. That means you're fucked. Yeah. Hey, I bet there's another group of people that are kind of synonymous with this healthy food and listening to what the government says about everything, and that they more than likely they have taken a experimental vaccine that we can't really discuss about the negative effects of it. Even though recently the New York Times came out and said the truth openly. It was like the Hunter Biden laptop thing. Remember Hunter Biden laptop when the New York Times said it was fake Russian propaganda before they said it was real? They said it was fake before they said it was real. And then you have this story of an accidental discharge. I mean, that's really what happened in China, right? Over there in that city that starts with a W. Yeah, I mean, somebody must have just had a bad ejaculation, and that's how they got an injection that, well, somehow started a chain reaction that went around the world. Hmm. I remember that blonde-haired president, what they call him, Orange Man Bad. Remember when Orange Man Bad said it came from the Wuhan Institute of Virology? It came from Wuhan, China. That's what Donald Trump said. Hmm. Seems now a second U.S. government agency has said, yeah, more than likely, probably. The New York Times has even let it out there on the front page now. Hmm. Well, I guess now that we're trying to go to war with China, and we're not trying to save, they can throw the blame off onto somebody else and across the ocean, right? Not some long time career person at the National Institutes of Health. No, no, no. Or a guy named Collins. Yeah, take a Dr. Collins and a Fauci and call me in the morning, man. I'm telling you, you'll be just fucking lucky to wake up. Anyway, so amazing, amazing. A, an additive, a food additive, the sweetener, right? Triggers a heart attack to the brain or a stroke, or clots can break off and travel to the heart and causing blood platelets to clot more rapidly. Hmm. Additional lab and animal research presented in the paper revealed that ethanol appeared to be doing all of the following, all of what I talked about, right? Certainly sounds alarming, said Dr. Andrew Freeman, cardiovascular prevention and wellness at the National Jewish Health Hospital in Denver, Colorado. Now, they were not involved in the research. I guess that's just who they found to give a quote. They got a Jewish quote in there. They can rake up some shekels. Way to go, CNN. Man, I'm telling you. It's like sorbitol and exetol. Ethanol is a sugar alcohol, a carb found naturally in many fruits and vegetables, but about 70% of the sweetness of the sugar is considered 0 calorie. Huh? So whatever that beet sugar is, that if it has 70% of the 100% of that, it's considered fucking 0 calorie. No, no, no. It's 70% calorie. What the fuck? Hey, no wonder fatties that when they drink all their Diet Cokes and they're drinking all this shit and they're avoiding all the sugar and they're thinking they're getting 0. Hey, man, they're getting 70 or 50. I guess it's like that experimental shot that they want to give you that they said was 95% effective, I believe is what the pharmaceutical executives have said. Yeah. Hey, did you see where uh, what's his name? What's his name? Saturday Night Live is catching hell. Yeah, because he made a joke about I was going to make a movie script, and wait a minute, Woody Harrelson made this joke, and it was pretty funny. He said if I was going to write a movie script, I would have the biggest drug dealers in the world get together, coordinate with the government and the media, all conspire together to create a problem and then run the solution right down to you. And then you have to buy their product just to live. Wow. We'll throw that. He said, we'll throw that script out, what he did. It was, let's just say, liberals in Hollywood felt pretty uncomfortable when he talked about that and said that because it was just the stinking truth. So yeah, good for him. Well, in Turkey in particular, don't forget Turkey, Syria, and that region were hit by not one but two earthquakes, and more than 50,000 people have essentially been confirmed dead. And I imagine there's probably 150, 200,000 homeless or in broken homes that are really in the winter right now. Um, that Erdogan has said to Turkey, I'm sorry, we'll do better in the earthquake response. And he's seeking forgiveness from the Turkish people. Well, wonder what exactly is I wonder what is going on there, except it's probably a Islamic tradition, maybe for their leadership. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, in a failed response to the Ohio disaster, where tons of toxic compounds were burned off over a town, over a region that is basically hardcore Republican and is suspicious of government in general. What we have ended up with is the EPA has stepped in and has taken control of the disposal of all the dirt, all the compounds, everything. The Norfolk Southern trying to get rid of the material as fast as they can because with each day, with each weather system, that ground and all that shit stays there. Guess what? The further it's going to spread, the worse it's going to be. So, digging up, removing the soil. And, the problem is when they blew it up, they made the problem exponentially worse, thinking they were burning the volatile toxins, when essentially what they did was man, they spread them out over a wide area. And that's why the creeks and that's why some of the other places are so contaminated. And it's not going to go away today or tomorrow. It will take massive amounts of rain just to wash the creeks out. and hopefully maybe wash it and dilute it enough where it's not toxic to animal and man alike. The failed response, by Pete Buttigieg just is another example that hire you can't hire people for to fill a diversity slot. The Biden administration recently was saying and was patting themselves on the back. So we are the most diverse White House and government in history. Truth is, you're the most fucked up government in history. You can't tell the fucking truth to anybody about anything. You cannot negotiate diplomatically, honestly, with the Russians. Everything the Americans have fucking said has been a lie. Has been a lie to the Russians. I don't give a shit if Ukraine says, okay, uncle, we'll stop fighting and solidify the lines where they are. It will not fucking matter. These retard neoliberals and neocons in the fucking government are running the show. Barack Obama's third presidency, you're seeing it right now. The thing is, they're getting ready to have to dump Joe Biden because they have to blame. They have to blame all this on somebody, something, somehow. And when I say all this thing, we are talking about Ukraine. Because we can look and see what families, what governments, what agencies were deeply involved in Ukraine. And not only the overthrow of the government, as Victoria Nuland has so politely pointed out, but the reformation of the government multiple times, multiple ways. If the motherfuckers in the mainstream cocksucking media, if they don't want to say it, I fucking will. The United States government, as it stands, is just a bunch of backstabbing, dirty motherfuckers. Now, that's some reason why, I'm not over on Revolution Radio talking right now. Okay? That's why I'm not over there now. Because I just can't express myself, maybe is the way I want to put it. But listen, it's just fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it, Maybe this should be called What the Fuck Show. Because really, it's really what the fuck. We are literally supplying gangsters with $100 billion in Ukraine. And all of the mainstream psychological mind control machine has people mind fucked. Nobody wants to say the truth about what's going on in Ukraine. It really is. And 2020 was a rigged fucking election. I don't care what the cocksuckers say. I know it was. Nobody wants to talk to me. I don't know why. I was the one that was giving Trump's team some of the information that they were basing their decisions on. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah, they want to go after these other guys. But there's some reason, man, I don't know what the fuck. They just don't want to it, it really is a sad state of affairs what our government has become. All of our politicians are just bought and paid whores. Whoever donates them the most money, that's who they essentially pay off. After the was it the governor of Virginia was his case was thrown out at the Supreme Court. After he was taking $50,000 forgivable loans, and no, you never have to pay it back. Here, ride around in my Hummer. You need my airplane. Here's gas card to my airplane pilot. Just take him and his family wherever they need to go. This is what our government has become. Hey, BB, I hope you're doing well, Blasphemous Buddha and Navy. You know, it's not out of a loop or anything like that. It's okay. Everything has to change, everything has to evolve, everything has to grow. And, Revolution Radio, I felt I was like this. And then I couldn't even unleash my mouth. Yes, I'm still here at yes. I'm still at Revolution. Sorry, I'm typing. Yeah, I'm still at Revolution Radio. It's just listen, as part of the management team. Here's the conundrum, okay? As part of the management team, and I cannot fucking talk like this, okay? I cannot use some of the language that I use here. That's but listen, understand. I'm not going to go on Revolution Radio and literally smash and break all the rules that they live by at Revolution Radio. That wouldn't be professional. That wouldn't be applicable. That just wouldn't be. First off, that's not me. Okay, that's okay. It's no problem. But there's some fucking words that that word example, I guess, is one of the main reasons. Now, I do worry about the direction that the station is going, and it's the selectiveness of the hosts and everything else. I do worry about that. But at the same time, that, as part of the management team, I can't be in there cussing my fucking brains out and then try to get everybody else to adhere to that policy. Please understand that, and anyway, so yeah, it's things do get, can get too restrictive. And over time, whether it's social media or Revolution Radio or whether it's me or everybody's going to have to kind of change and find their own ground and be that independent individual, because that's what happened to James O'Keefe. Look at that. James O'Keefe, he got kicked out of his own fucking company. I mean, they fucked James O'Keefe wide open. Why? Because they hijacked it and they wanted to take it over. No, Revolution Radio hasn't sold out. I don't think they've sold out. In fact, a management team, I know they haven't sold out. Okay. So, and there probably, maybe a misconception about, yes, James O'Keefe is Project Veritas. Okay. So, a corporation, to expand James O'Keefe and his footsteps and his empire and stuff. Now, see, this is one of the things that Revolution Radio has not done. I mean, they haven't expanded themselves into this big official corporation with all these rules and regulations that they have to live by. Okay. And what happened was outside personnel essentially got control of James O'Keefe's board at Project Veritas, the corporate board, and they had some people throw some complaints in because somebody's always going to bitch about something. I don't care who you are, where you're at. somebody is going to always complain about something. Okay. So, yeah, I think this might be this yellow shirt. Yeah. I was going to wear it yesterday. It looks pretty washed out. But also might be my internet stream until I can get this get everything else configured out. And oh shit, I got just so much to do. My hands hurt so fucking bad. My fucking kidneys. I better stop bitching. Yeah. Anyway, itches. Hang on a second. Anyway, so one of the things that's happening right now in Ohio. Let me get back to where I was before I went off on this tangent, whatever. Okay, up in Ohio, the Biden administration is now sending teams of people to go door to door to question people about health problems and to do a survey. Now, I guess, they're trying to reach some more people that are supposedly right around the area. But, here's the thing. It's just like the thing that we just went through and these mouth diapers that they want you to wear. None of these restaurants, none of these organizations, none of these hospitals or doctors' offices, and all these other places that are requiring um, a mask for respiratory protection. Okay. I don't believe any of them can take you to a finding that within their facility that the air is hazardous. Because if the air is hazardous, then it's an environmental problem, not the human problem. Okay. And we all know the efficiency of masks is in question, particularly those that are the professionals. Often wear a battery powered, um, high efficiency bacterial and particulate filter, and it's like a little thing on their waist, and they get the air from it as it's filtered through the system. It's little clips on their belt or is on a belt. Um, it's a since I've literally used all of those types of respirators. I've worked in bubble suits. You work in a bubble suit, man. It's not as bad as it sounds, but it's awkward. But it is necessary if you're in a contaminated area that requires air to be pumped in from a room, way over there. And you're on an airline that's plugged into your thing, kind of like if when you see these people in the medical labs. I've worn those a couple times, those bubble suits. And it was just I don't know. I guess they're made because they're disposable, and you can take take them and incinerate them, or in this case, put them in a nuclear landfill. You can squash them. That's one of the things that where the hell did that come from? That's one of the things that I found kind of unique at the nuclear power plant, because they compacted their nuclear waste and their trash, because they had a lot of stuff that was low level radioactive waste and had contamination on it. And, it was, all kinds of stuff from tape to masks to filters to um, suits and shoes and boots and who knows what all. And they get compacted into barrels. And, it's like they take one full barrel and then they mash it down to about 30 inches or something, to about a third of the barrel. And it's like, damn. But those things need forklifts, to get up on the trucks. Yeah. Hey, speaking of being thrown under the truck or, loaded up on the back of the truck and dumped off, Robert Murdoch, the owner of fake ass Fox News, testified that commentators endorsed Trump's 2020 election lie. The chairman, Fox Corporation, old Rupert Murdoch, Murdouche is more like it, testified that Fox News popular commentators endorsed Donald Trump's false claim that the 2020 presidential was rigged, even though Murdoch said he doubted the conspiracy theory right away, according to a filing in a defamation lawsuit. Yes, Murdoch said being questioned under oath in the $1.6 billion Dominion Voting Systems court hearing, which included excerpts of the deposition in a filing on last Monday. On Monday, I should say. After the endorsement of the stolen election, a lawyer asked, yes, Murdoch, they endorsed it. He answered. Fox News is accused of helping promote false claims that the voting machine maker flipped millions of electronic ballots away from Trump as part of a vast conspiracy involving corrupt Democrats and foreign hackers. They didn't have to do that. The machines just fucking suck, okay? The biggest problem with the voting machines? You can scan ballots as many fucking times as you want, and those ballots don't have a mark on them as how many times they were injected into that fucking machine, okay? And one of the things that they have found that they did in Maricopa County was when they had all those ballots stuffed in the box 3, right? File number 3, right? That usually means the fucking garbage, okay? Yeah, file it over there in box 3. That's the fucking garbage. Anyway, never mind the mindset of the people that do this, okay? But here's the thing. They were taking ballots that they were trying to see if they were, and they would make a copy of that ballot and try to insert it into the machine, and it still wouldn't read, right? So they would make another copy of that ballot. So there are hundreds, if not tens of thousands of ballots that have essentially been, copies of them have been made. And not only the original ballot, but the copy has been essentially counted now. This is what they're finding. As I have said before, there is literally no way to tell where the fucking ballot came from, whether it was a legitimately mailed ballot that was mailed to somebody in the fucking that at a real person at a real address. Okay. Remember, Maricopa County, they found 87,000 people. They couldn't even verify if they were fucking alive. Not through Social Security, not through credit cards, or even through any state databases. Now, look, pardon the fuck out of me, but you're going to be in a state database somewhere, whether you have a state ID, which you should have to vote, or even to register to vote, even if you're going to vote mail in. Okay. We have to remember, don't you remember There was this big thing a few years ago about all of the IDs that were being sent in from fucking China, that they were forging identification for all kinds of people, illegal aliens, 10,000 fucking IDs found at different times. These were all literally coming to a processor who had processed all these people, all these fake IDs, and was gathering them up and was going to either deliver them to illegal immigrants and others, or were they just going to use them for Democrats to vote, to register to vote, and then continue voting? And it's never questioned, it's never updated. And the file, voter file, as long as that person has a mails back a vote, they slide it through the system. I don't, listen, I don't believe shit when it comes to what big corporations say to save their own ass. All right. I really don't. I don't. I cannot. I do not accept the 2020 election as being fair and equal, particularly the Georgia runoff election that changed the balance of the Senate when ballots were sent from Arizona on a United Parcel Service, a UPS flight called the Indy Express. There were literally tons of ballots, Georgia runoff ballots, mail in ballots that were processed through the United States Postal Service in Arizona, taken to the airports, put on the UPS plane, flown to Indianapolis overnight, December 1st into December 2nd. That's what I was told by a whistleblower who, well, let's just say they worked that night that the plane flew out. They witnessed the ballots because they called and asked me, "What's up? Can you explain anything about this?" And I kind of poked around. I couldn't even find out where the real chain of custody for the ballots for the Georgia runoff election, where they were printed, when they were sent out, and how they were essentially verified in through the USPS system or through the state when they were mailed out. I mean, you have to ask those questions because, wow, if what it was said, you essentially, this is what the runoff ballots that runoff election was rigged with mail-in ballots. Okay. Wow. Oh man, I'm sitting here looking at this story about the door-to-door health surveys. I wonder if they're bothering taking swabs off of people's fence posts, their mailboxes, their yards, taking soil samples literally everywhere, particularly in places where water might gather, where, when it rains a little bit, the water might slump down into an area. It's not a regular runoff creek, or better yet, how about the bottom of people's spouts? If you're guttering on your house, if it just runs out and then dumps on the ground in front of your house, you might want to check that soil. I mean, you might not want to let your kids play near it. And it might be just fucking hazardous. We can't be sure, in all honesty. These are, remember, these are the same people that, brought you the miracle of the, well, that thing. The thing, as Joe Biden would say. Ah, fucking, man. I'm telling you. What else we got going on here? Yeah, so anyway. Ah, man. Anyway, here, let's get some other news information here. Bump, bump. Oh, yeah, here's one. The CIA. Well, imagine that. The CIA. Well, what haven't they fucking done, cocksuckers? The CIA has played a key role in the arrest and imprisonment of South African civil rights leader Nelson Mandela. Remember, the FBI murdered who? That's right, JFK, right? Or not JFK. Well, JFK, right? Partly, but um, damn it, Martin Luther King Jr. We also have to understand that the CIA is some pretty rotten, dirty, fucking scoundrels, and that they are working to literally overthrow, and control our government, the American government. And it's not, it's not funny. It just these people are just plain fucked up. The Supreme Court said, "Oh, well, that's national security," and trying to look into some of the surveillance and some of the other stuff that our government is doing. I mean, the fuck can you do? It's wow. It's crazy. I was trying to find this. Here it is. Oh no, that's not the one, but that's another CIA story. Must have missed it somewhere along the way. But anyway, listen, we have to understand that almost everything major incidents in the past, we see the hidden hand of government intelligence services or even NATO. Okay. I don't know where people have been. I don't know what they think and what they realize, but this is what the CIA did in the past. They're still fucking doing it on steroids today because they have more power, more control, more mind fucking of the American people and the people of the world than they even realize. And the only thing it takes them, the only thing it's going to take most of them to get shocked the shit out of is some post traumatic stressor. Now, the last couple years wasn't enough. Okay. Wasn't enough to bring in the great reset. There is too much resistance. So they have to up the level of fear, up the level of strategy, and up the cost of the game to everybody that we must acquiesce. Now, if you haven't noticed over here in Ukraine, okay, another place where the CIA has just done fucked everything up, just like in Syria, where the CIA has been running operations since the 1970s to get rid of the Assad or the former government of Assad or the son of the government of Assad. Okay. That's a CIA U.S. military operation that's been going on. It's a fucking declared war against Assad. Listen, I'm hearing these fucking Republicans saying, no Democrats, but just some fucking Republicans saying, oh my God, man, Biden started the World War III when he ordered the Nord Stream 2 pipeline attacked. Listen, under this fucking U.S. Unpatriot Act of what the fuck ever that we're under today, because every year it's expanded, it's made bigger, it's broader, it's more in depth. You got an electronic enema stuck so far up your ass, most people don't even know about it. And the other part is, most people are so dependent upon it, they have no idea. You don't have to actually go into a fucking matrix of, oh, I'm in a bubble, I'm inside a computer, I'm in the metaverse. You don't have to fucking do that. Jesus fucking Christ on a crutch. All you have to do is immerse yourself in this little motherfucker right here. I don't know how many people I know. They can't leave home without it. They can't be tracked without it. Everything in their life can't be used against them. When they turn on the central bank digital currency, whether you know it or not, all of your files, all of your fucking life, all of everything you've done on social media, fuck you, all of YouTube, fuck the elite, fuck the goddamn bastards and the banksters and everybody else. Just fuck them sons of bitches. They're already, I'm sure I'm on 6 lists to Sunday. I don't know why. I'm just out here trying to tell the truth. Wait till tonight on the Trump assassination files. We're going to try to do some things different. I got my little board here in the background. Well, we're going to bring it up, and we're going to, if it wouldn't be dark, and so I may, hey, I may have to change that to the afternoon when I have light, so I can try to do a live show outside, because I got to put together a live show and get my trailer straight. And then I'm maybe live showing it wherever the hell I'm at. Just depends on what's going on. But our government has done fucked the system up so bad that they believe that they have control of all of it. They lied to the American people. The United States lies on a daily basis to the American people. You can look at the press secretary and you can just tell they're all fucking lying, that everything they're saying is just worthless. Okay. It's plain fucking worthless. Instead of having a press secretary, or excuse me, instead of having a reporter in the White House, you are much better off hiring 50 fucking people to follow the targets of your questions around, whether it's Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and the pedo scandal and the fuck the Biden family. Yeah, just fuck the Biden family. Fuck them. Fuck a bunch of bastards. Anyway, it really is, you can hire these 50 fucking people and they can go around to every event, every press conference, every venue. They can go to the hotels and the restaurants from just like that ugly ass turd Maxine Waters said, get in her face, go bother them, don't give them a minute apiece. And why are fucking Democrats getting a minute of motherfucking peace? Huh? What about Bernie Gutman? Bernie fucking Gutman. Oh, you don't know who that is? The fucking cocksucking communist senator from Vermont. Isn't he from Vermont, Bernie? Yeah, I think Bernie Sanders is from Vermont, but that's not his real name. His real name's Bernie Gutman, just like Kirsten Cinema. That's not her real name either. But it really does say Kirsten Cinema on that list of people who got money from the drug cartels for their political campaigns, along with good old Katie fucking Hobbs. Yeah, Katie Hobbs, the cartel governor. Remember, just a few years ago, they had Pito Nieto, the cartel president of Mexico. And then after that, they had the social communist, Bader. I think Bader's in there still. I mean, they're just fucked. These places are just fucked. Look, well, people don't want to say the truth. These are motherfucking warlords, okay? They're people that control an area of territory. You can call them drug cartels and throw it all off on that, but I'm telling you, if you think they're just drug cartels, oh, well, no, we don't touch human smuggling at all. It's too much money in fentanyl and crack and marijuana and everything else. But we don't do human trafficking. We don't steal oil and gas supplies out of the pipelines. We don't confiscate and steal crops from farmers and avocado fields and all kinds of shit. No, 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 no. Drug cartels never do that. They never block highways and would charge people a toll. No, no, they would never do that. Our fucking government has everybody so brainwashed into some particular mindset. Drug card. Oh, yeah. That's them people that bring in those loads of cocaine. No, they're really not anymore. They are completely diversified. Yes, diversity has hit the Mexican drug cartels. They not only control Mexican politicians, but they own and control American politicians. And guess what? Most of them, or all of them, are fucking Democrats. Meanwhile, up in Chicago, hey, is it today? Is it today where Beetlejuice's daughter, Beetlejuice's daughter, I think, goes for a re-election? Yeah. Meanwhile, inmates at Cook County Jail said, "Hey, you can get some extra privileges if you vote. If you vote, for Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice." Yeah. Anyway, inmates are claiming the guards are pushing them to illegally vote. Doesn't matter if you're eligible or haven't registered or whatever. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't even matter if you're a resident of Chicago. Well, I guess you are if you're at the jail. Anyway, so ballot harvesting in jail, think about it. Think about it. It's no accident that the government gave away stimulus checks and unemployment to all kinds of people that were in jail. There's no reason they can't vote too, right? I mean, wouldn't surprise me if half the people on the voting rolls in some places are fucking foreigners from Nigeria or some shit. Oh my God. But yeah, so of course it's wholly illegal for that, right? Inmates, some who are accused of murder, argued guards in the jail are pushing them to vote despite being registered in a different jurisdiction. They claimed the guards received orders from higher ups. Yes, Lori Lightfoot said, "Oh gosh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but I'm gonna fucking win. I don't care if I have to shred ballots. I'm gonna win." Oh well, they won't be my ballots; they'll be your ballots. Yeah, it's pretty. It's normal. normal fucking politics today. When the criminals gravitate to the top of the food chain, in the particularly with the political class, what happens is you end up with an administrative class that is just nothing but fucking corrupted. Just plain fucking corrupt. Okay? Now, if you can believe it, which I have trouble, right? CIA Director William Burns has come out and said that Iran is not resuming its nuclear weapons program. Well, if they're not resuming their nuclear weapons program, why is Israel still bombing them? Why is Israel literally um, committing acts of war against Iran? And if Iran defends themselves, there are problems. Oh my God, Iran is a terrible country. You know, Iran's the only one that kicked the fucking CIA out of their goddamn country. That's what that's why Uncle Sam's boner is bent when it comes to Iran. That's why we gave Saddam Hussein weapons of mass destruction. We didn't get upset until he gassed his own fucking people. No, we didn't care till, that happened. As long as he gassed Iranians. Yes, remember, it was so bad that the CIA provided real-time weather reports so Saddam Hussein could launch nerve gas chemical weapons attacks against Iran. Does anybody really fucking remember that goddamn shit? The United States supplied Saddam Hussein with weapons of mass destruction. Gee, how'd that fucking work out? We gave sarin gas to the fucking nut jobs Al Nusra and Al Qaeda, and now in Ukraine, you have some of the same guerrilla warfare tactics of launching chlorine gas attacks in essentially the same way. Now, these are Ukrainians that are doing this. And that is, well, of course, it's a war crime, but none of them care, and they don't really give a shit. Okay, that's the unfortunate truth of where we were at and where we're at. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance suggests a PPP style program for the East Palestine, Ohio residents after the toxic train derailment. Look, what PPPE are they going to fucking do? Hey, who's going to go buy a house in East Palestine, Ohio? Raise your hand. Come on, raise your hand. I want to go live at Love Canal 2.0. Hey, anybody out here want to go live in a toxic fucking dump? Jesus Christ. I guess you have to remember, when the wind blows, it'll be like some of those places in Southern California where when the wind blows and the dust blows, there is a lot of, residual toxic waste from, let's just say herbicides and pesticides and everything else. He's a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you. So listen, your yard, your house, everything is essentially contaminated. The top of the cupboards, even, if your windows were open or if you had any kind of air movement, or, who the fuck really knows? because these people aren't really, you're really not going to know until you're fucking dead and you're dying. Yeah, I guess in a way I understand that. I know that better. Today, everybody should stand up and say, fuck you, Northern Southern. Fuck you, EPA. Fuck you, Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, who gave the check mark. Hey, let's just nuke it. And DeWine, a dumb fucking wine. I mean, hello. Hey, maybe Ohio and Pennsylvania better get some more environmental fucking scientists who don't have their head stuck up some scientific ass. Pile it higher and deeper. They'll never be able to see around the wall of bullshit. That's all the motherfucking cocksuckers are saying half the time. Pisses me to fuck off. I don't know about you, but if you think it's just East Palestine, Ohio, think again. What you don't realize is, there are companies that will take take a country route and have a leaky valve on a truck. Yeah, toxic waste dump. You ever go see some of these cars hauling cars from junkyards and stuff? And some bitches look like they got grease rolling off of them. We are subject to so many toxic sources today. You don't really know where they're fucking coming from. I wish I could say we all knew, but all the products that we get, most of the stores and stuff, remember they used to talk about how the paper bags would give off gas, ammonia and other stuff. Well, listen, almost everything in your house gives off some kind of fumes, or it can shed particles and all kinds of stuff that you may not think about. Now, I knew this was a problem down south, down in Texas, southern United States, really all across the southern United States, where wild hogs are a serious problem. Okay. However, now coming from the north in Canada, Canadian super hogs are now gaining strength and now threatening to get into the northern United States. Some of these Canadian super hogs, like all the other shit that grows up, that is up north, some of them grow fucking big. And I'm sure they do down south. 600 pounders up there in Canada, a cross between domestic hog and a wild hog, got out, and well, then it just went wild. So yeah, it's crazy. Hungry country in Europe. Not me right now, but maybe right after the show, make a hamburger. Yeah, that usually works. Anyway, Hungary demands a UN investigation into the attack on the Nord Stream 2 pipelines. Yes, I believe it's Viktor Orban, right? Uh, Viktor Orban says we need to have an investigation. The attack left Germany and other European countries dependent on U.S. energy and prompted them to support escalation of the war in Ukraine. Seymour Hersh and the prize-winning investigative journalist who blew the story wide open, talked about how the explosives were planted in June of 2022 by U.S. Navy divers under the guise of Baltop's 2022 NATO exercise, and were detonated 3 months later with a remote signal sent from a sonar buoy. One source told Hearst the plotters knew the covert operation was an act of war, Some within the CIA and State Department warned, don't do this. Do this. It's stupid and will be a political nightmare when it comes out. But the fucking dumb fucking world government run by Democrats and Republicans and the Uni Party that have essentially kissed the ring of the World Economic Forum, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Bank of International Settlements, and a plethora of other groups that are essentially just tools and levers that all answer to one or two people who all answer to one or two people. And you have essentially the New World Order run by fucking corporations. And sheeple don't have a goddamn clue that they've lost their government. They have no idea they have lost the constitutional republic. In fact, most fucking Americans don't even have a clue that we are a constitutional republic, and it doesn't give a fuck whether you're a Republican or you're a goddamn Democrat. Your thoughts don't translate into laws that affect my free speech because you feel hurt, because your feelings were fucking injured. You know, the Constitution was meant to protect other people against fucking government and other people using government to silence your voice. That's the serious problem that we face today. The Democrats don't want to admit that people do not have to use their fucking chosen pronoun, whatever it may be. They don't have to call you a fucking girl because you're a boy that grew tits. They don't have to call you a boy because you're a girl who strapped her tits down and took some hormones and grew a beard. They can call you whatever they want. And it's not a slur. It's a scientific factuality. Now, if you want to live by a scientific factuality of you think you are, then you can. It's a free fucking planet. It's a free United States. But I don't have to buy into your delusion. I can understand it. I can have compassion for it. But the thing is, they have tried to shove this down everybody's throat and force people to like sexual dysphoria and abhorrent sexual behavior to normies, to normal people. Okay? To normal people. And as I said the other day, Jesus Christ, the trans community is all upset about the librarian thing. And, while all these young liberal teachers, while they all proselytize the current LGBTQ talking points, could you imagine what you would say if you would say to them, okay, this whole week, we're going to do masculinity stuff. We're going to do masculine stuff. The next week, they're going to do another type of behavior. And, next week, you're going to be a fireman or a paramedic. Next after that, you're going to be maybe a government official. Here's the thing, they would be mad about that. If they had to teach some kid about the or have speakers come in every day or whenever there is a time, have a speaker come in that is from the military, that talks about war and patriotism and idealism of, your country and the founding fathers and the freedoms and the struggles we have had of Americans, right? Listen, they would be shocked. They would be horrified if you would suggest that we need to do that for weeks or for a whole program or whatever, because they are so based in selling their ideology to the children that they're indoctrinating. As I said the other day, it's it's a it's a segregation of the mind is what people are doing in education today. It's segregation indoctrination. Okay. It's segredoctrination. Okay. It really is what we are seeing today when CRT, critical race theory, is pushed in schools. And the first thing they push is you have to find somebody different about them because of their race. Okay. They're essentially what the school is teaching kids today is that instead of y'all being kids, y'all walk on that side of the street and y'all walk on that side of the street. And hell, the white people, you're supposed to walk in the middle of the street. Okay. That's almost essentially, maybe a good description of how critical race training is. Instead of teaching people that they're all individual and everybody is different, every kid is different, they're essentially turning everybody into race gangs. And then they will develop that mentality. And actually, if you look at it, you think about it, you can see that mentality in the Democrat cities across America. And as we know, they are mostly heavily Sunmen, the most heavily black. Okay. It's unfortunate. It sucks. It sucks that the Democrat Party essentially has blacks still on plantations in the cities. And they have been pumping shit into their brain since the Civil War. You had Jim Crow for 100 and some years. Then you had the slow turnover to Jim Crow Jr. has finally been born, or segregation, racism is now the norm against whites. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but it is the result of the inherent brainwashing of our political and educational class. Remember, without the educational and the political class, the media would not be able to manipulate everybody as they do, because they are essentially working in concert. The media, the fucking government, and the corporations. Of course, the corporations are the media, but we have to remember, we have to put them in a separate pile, because corporations also include, these social media companies and internet companies that have essentially taken to the internet and are using it to brainwash everybody and every brother mm, that you see. everybody that we live with today. Everybody is being shafted 6 ways to Sunday by the system. It is wholly unfortunate. It really sucks. Let's see. We set this up. The Rona report and other stuff. Things we can't talk about on YouTube. Sorry, trying to set this up. So anyway, I'm getting around. I'm setting up this live stream. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Schedule for we'll make it 10:30, okay? 10:30 a.m. I'm scheduling a stream over here on locals.com. Oops, okay. Invalid file. Oh, okay. Huh. That was an invalid file. I didn't think it was, but we'll do this one. Huh. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong file. Anyway, I'm clicking on the wrong one. Anyway, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to do this, trying to get this set up. So I just set up that live stream. Let me copy that. Okay. So at 10:30, I just set up a live stream for 10:30 over on locals.com. So we can talk about things there that, we are almost banned about talking about things right here. So yeah. So there is the link to my locals stream that is going to be here at 10:30, and where what I'll do is as soon as this is over, I'll take a short break, grab myself something to eat, and then we'll kick back into it with what I'm calling the Rona report or things we can't talk about on YouTube. Shh, don't talk about that. Yeah, so God forbid, you talk about the wrong thing around here. It's like dealing with the fucking mafia. One slip of the tongue, man, you're fucking silenced. You're dead. You're dead. You're meat, man. You won't hear you from weeks and then maybe never. Yeah, that's what's going to happen in Europe when, Hillary Clinton's hit team is probably going to be going to Hungary and let's just say playing wackadoodle with Victor Orban. Yeah. Anyway, remember Victor Orban just had Samantha Powers and the U.S. aid program. The fucking CI fucking A. Change government death squad has rolled into town, has brought hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, so we can have the right kind of government in Hungary. Yeah, remember that? It just was a few weeks ago, wasn't it? The United States overthrowing another fucking government, okay? When are the people going to understand that it's been the United States that has essentially overthrown the societies and the governments of all of the Eastern European nations? And just as the oh God, what's his name? Lord, what the fuck? No, I don't think it's that. Palpatine or whatever the hell it was in ah and of course the Emperor in Star Wars. I think they're this one and the same. That their hate made them easy to manipulate, easy to control. But the other thing is that hate made them powerful. And if you look at the Democrat Party today, the hate within that party is essentially what has made it powerful. It isn't the old time progressive socialism that we see where the nuclear family, a family of four, and that's really what the poverty level is set at. It's not based on some poor guy that's living alone. Oh, no, I better shut up. That sounds pretty damn close. Um, but, the Democrats and the Republicans have whittled away at what it really means to be poor. I keep trying to fucking explain this to people, but they don't quite understand. Today, to get welfare, to get government services, you have to be fucking dirt poor to get it. I mean, you almost have to have a dirt floor in your house. That's how fucking poor you have to be today to get a lot of government services. Now, remember, you don't even think about it. You don't realize it. You only know that all the prices have gone up real fucking high and that the levels to get government help have stayed way the fuck down here. And it seems that, the inflation numbers never work in your favor, do they? They never work in your favor. Inflation will always strip you of what wealth you thought you had left. Ah, anyway, New York City, you missed a big auction. Could have made out with a big, big pile of money. Well, you had to have a big pile of money to start to make a big pile of money, bigger pile of money, right? COVID supplies, auctioned off in New York City as they had a fire sale of their PPE products. I talked about this the other day. It was 38 truckloads of shit for $500,000. Originally cost the city $200 million. 2 fucking cents on the dollar is what all that sold for, including quote unquote uh, millions of dollars of those ventilators that De Blasio and everybody else. New York was squealing like some fucking pussy on fucking Pimp Street that couldn't find a rubber to get laid with. Ah, man, I'm telling you, Andrew Cuomo should be going to fucking prison. I'd be willing to bet this is either some of the stuff that him or Hawk Pui, you know, the governor now, Hockle, Hawk Pui. Is she still did she get reelected? Fuck, I don't know. I don't even really care. Yeah, it's such a fucked up place up there in New York. Sorry. I know some of y'all are from New York. Now, I like good New York salmon fishing, but you really can't eat much of the fish. And if you're pregnant or if you're a woman of childbearing age and you want to have kids, well, or expecting to get pregnant, they advise you not to eat the fish. Yeah, don't eat the fish out of the streams in New York. At least they're honest about it. Many other states don't bother to tell you when the fish are fucking poisoned. Man, I'm telling you. Sheer craziness. Sheer craziness. The lithium industry is reeling after China has shut off 10% of the global supply from the world. Well, imagine that. The U.S. put sanctions on them, so they're going to essentially sanction the world. Remember, lithium, cobalt, and other rare earth minerals are, how should we say it, are required for this electric vehicle revolution. Sorry, guys, it just there's not enough. And when it's like finding out that coal powers shit. Remember how they stripped the fucking whole countryside for coal? Remember when they figured out about oil and petroleum and how they just fucking stripped everything, right? And they're still trying to pump and suck everything dry. Well, they're doing the same thing with rare earth minerals and other minerals for this quote unquote fucking a green revolution. It's not a green revolution, it's a greedy revolution. As these fucking bastards and these people have turned over again and again and again, any thought of a real clean and equitable future because they have to make a profit from it. Unless you're companies like Uber and Grubhub and other places, where essentially, everybody else burns all their shit up, burns all their money up, burns their gasoline up. And, you just give them a percentage of the ride. And you have a central infrastructure of fixed costs. And, you can take on 10 million drivers across the US, and never really have to expand your operation much further. I mean, that's the idea, between so many of these things that you're seeing today. And they're happening left and right. If you ever look on Craigslist and go under the gigs or go under other job opportunities and stuff, what you'll see is that almost every industry is essentially besieged by um, web companies that are basically gathering the sales and information and getting the job and then hiring locally. And the local guy never gets to see the job. He just works for another corporation. And if you have it set up right, you can have 50 fucking states calling into one place. You really maximize the fixed portions of your cost of operating. So, that's how I look at a lot of this stuff. People don't really think about it, but you can do the same thing on your own. You can get yourself a couple dozen people or however many and have steady riders. And there's a lot of places that do that. A lot of people that do that. Private taxi service. Anyway, so what else we got going on here? Let's see. Gosh, God, Mayorkas has been Department of Homeland Security has been accused of violating his oath of office in regarding the southern border of the United States of America. Look, every goddamn fucking Democrat, pardon me, Lord, every Democrat violated their oath of office when they shut down the building of Trump's wall. They want to build a wall and billions to Ukraine, but they couldn't find 5 billion to build a fucking wall to keep the fucking flow of drugs out in particular. And of course, let's not forget the fucking 7 million potential Democrat voters that have come in since the fucking pedo president was lied into office. Yeah, really. Since Joe fucking Biden was lied into office, 7 million fucking illegal immigrants have come into the United States. Remember, up until last year, the Democrats essentially claimed that, oh my God, there's only 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States. Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit. It's probably now getting closer to 40 fucking million. You know what's really worse? What's really pathetic? What's really fucked up is that the black community on the city Democrat plantation doesn't have a fucking clue. They don't have a fucking clue. It's a sad state of affairs. It really is. Here's some up to date news out in the last bit or so. A mass drone attack and air raid sirens inside of Russia as the let's see, Kiev regime attempted to use unmanned vehicles, drones, to attack civilian infrastructure in Russia. The attack on the oil facility happened in Taupos, which lies 150 miles southeast of the Crimean Peninsula. Emergency services put out a fire at an oil depot in southern Russia overnight after a drone was spotted flying overhead. So, we have to understand. I don't believe that this thing was launched from inside of Ukraine. I believe it was more than likely launched on the Black Sea or somewhere in between. In all honesty, another drone crashed in the Moscow region on the same day. It was likely an operation to target civilian infrastructure. So there you have it. What did Russia say? Attacks inside of Russia, are going to be essentially, let's just say, uh, these drones are just another little prick at the bear. And they're going to bring a swift hammer. But the problem is, uh, you know, the Americans and the Brits and NATO are essentially oh yeah, that's what I get. Listen, these drones aren't going to upset the game of power, and it's only going to piss the Russians off, so to speak. And whoever it is talking about Ukraine, they'll always talk about the war that's going on now. They won't talk about the fucking years of destruction, the overthrow of Ukraine and its independence by the American government. They won't talk about how the American government used social media for an entire wave of color revolutions as they pumped synthetic algorithms into the brains of fucking people. I don't know. They may even be doing it here in the United States, but they are getting caught big time, and they're getting ready, you know, I don't know if the American people even have the free enough will to push back against the fucking bastards, the motherfuckers in our government, and have treated us horrible in this um, American citizen government relationship. The fucking motherfuckers in the government just don't get it. It's like a fucked up girlfriend or an old ass boyfriend that does the same fucking shit time and time again and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here, take this left hand." And it's the Democrat hand, and it will help you. Yeah, after they slap the shit out of you, after they fucking put you down, after they run you into the goddamn ground, they come out, "Oh, look, here, I'm the compassionate conservative here to help you." Fuck you, goddamn bastards. Government has done fucking snooch the pooch, whatever you want to call it. They've done fuck the goodwill of with the American people. It is only a question of time till we have that civil war. The question is, will Democrats ever really, will they be able to wake up from their dystopian dream and nightmare that these motherfuckers are creating, that they have tried to implement in many places? And you're seeing the destruction of the family, leading to the destruction of the youth, leading to violence, which is going to lead to a forced increase of what? Government, services, and everything in between. And George Soros should be in fucking prison, if not strung up and hung till he's dead. He is a terrorist against the world. And George Soros has said that he will not stop and he wants to see the United States dead before he dies. Fuck you, George. Just fucking die. Meanwhile, Jimmy Carter. Yeah, if you haven't heard, Jimmy Carter's in hospice in the final days of his life. And he says, "I think I did it. I think I did it. Can we do it before I die? We got 60 days, 90 days. Can we do it before I die?" Yes, Jimmy Carter wants to be known for getting rid of that root worm or some worm shit that's in Africa. Yeah, it probably has gone pretty wild since they got rid of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, the two most potent parasitic drugs that we have today. Yeah, we can't talk about them here on this channel, but after the show at 10:30, we're going to hit locals.com. Now, as I said, if you want to support me, that is a good place to support me. But also, you don't have to get um, you just get a username. That's all they ask. Okay. You don't have to donate to see my shows. And, I was going to monetize some, but look, if you can donate, donate. I'm trying to expedite all this other shit that's going around me with my kidney. Yeah, expedite. Fucked. Um, but uh, anyway, so that I even applied for I'm trying to get my Social Security now because I got to get some other medical insurance or something to not go to the VA hospital. I hate to fucking say it like that, but oh God, man, I might as well go out here in the fucking woods and talk to a goddamn oak tree. Next week I can go talk to Dr. Pine Tree. The week after that, I can go talk to the fucking hickory nut. God forbid I ever get down there and start talking to, oh man, a bush. Run, run. He's talking to mountain laurel. Yeah, it's as effective as talking to the motherfuckers at the VA hospital. Sorry. Sorry, it's the truth, man. Hey, good morning, Christopher. How you doing? Yeah, Mr. Greenheart one there, and Captain Fred, and everybody in the house. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And now we're going to go do the Rona report after the show here, right? After I get a break and probably make a hamburger. Yeah, I could eat a cow. My teeth aren't into it right now, but I can tear it up. I can still tear it up. Yeah. So anyway, Vanguard. Yes, Vanguard, the big institutional investing guys place, right? Vanguard CEO has abandoned ESG Investing Alliance. Not in the game of politics. What? What? ESG? Oh, I thought it was just fucking corporations trying to be gentler, nicer, kinder. Oh, fuck no. It's the goddamn social fascist regrouping. Oh, well, they've done past regrouped, right? Don't forget the European Soviet Socialist Union. The EU is a bunch of fucking fascist regroups, or regroupers. I don't know what you want to call it, from good old Nazi Germany. If you have never heard of the Red House report, filed with the Office of Strategic Services, I believe it was 1943, where German industrialists secretly met to plan after war. They started heavily losing their ass in Russia and the Americans and the bombing. And, look, strategically, you had to get your shit together then if you're going to do anything after the war. Well, Germany got gutted, cleaned out after the war. They put the man in charge that they wanted, that the social fascists wanted, in charge of rebuilding Germany. And it took the Marshall Plan, chunked it loose, turned Germany into a world class power, economic power, and then used that economic power to create trade agreements that eventually became slave fucking agreements. And one by one, year after year, the mind control expanded. They lied through their fucking teeth from the very beginning, not only in the formation of the European Union, but the formation of the currency called the euro. You may not realize that, but they asked the CIA, well, what do you do here, man? Just lie, lie, lie. Keep lying to the motherfuckers until you have a close to a 50%, people that'll go with you for the euro thing, for the new European currency thing, instead of having the franc and the pound and the douche mark and all the other little currencies, right? No, 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 man. Lie through your fucking teeth. That's what the CIA said to the sons of bitches. And that's what they did. And when they had enough gravity, they had enough people calling for a central bank. You remember, that was not in isolation, because while they lied, the undercurrents from the banking system and the collapse of the currencies of Europe created the necessity for the euro. It's just another fake ass Ponzi currency so the elite can make more money. They can rent you more fucking paper, plastic, whatever the fuck it is made of today. But anyway, ESG. I've said it time and time and again. This environmental social governance investing is nothing but corporate fucking fascism. And the problem is, it's joined with this national socialism of the past. And those are the two things that joined together that made Hitler strong. But today they're going about it a whole different way. Instead of creating a strong Hitler, they've just created a patsy and have set up a conflict in Ukraine. But if you look everywhere around the world where the United States is, there is conflict. And there's a reason for that. Problem, reaction, solution. And if we don't get our way, we'll bomb the fucking snot out of you. We'll kill you deader than hell. We don't care. That's the attitude of the American government. That's the attitude they had with the American Indians. That's the fucking attitude they have with the American people today. You're either with us or you're against us. And, Democrats think that democracy is about getting freedom and having freedom of speech and all that. It's not. Democracy is about having an authoritarian, totalitarian type power over everybody in the nation. And there is nothing free about that. It won't be now, and it won't be in the goddamn future. Man, I'm saying that a lot today. I'm sorry, Lord. It will not be in the future. Man, did you see that? Oh, you see that? I don't know if it'll focus. Ladybug. And ladybugs are still trying to come in out of the cold, or hatching, I should say, in the warm days and then coming in. But remember, as I said earlier, spring is here pretty much. You can and you will be seeing warmer weather. It may not seem like it right now because of the cold front and stuff going across the northern parts of the United States with snow and stuff. But yeah, it's coming and it's here. And it's another thing. If you're in Colorado, y'all be careful, man. The snowpacks are awful heavy some places, and there's supposed to be another storm coming in, and there have been eight people killed this year in avalanches. And they just found the body of a person the other day. They were snowmobiling and they got caught up in an avalanche. So, what I would tell you is to be aware and, understand what's going on. Wow, here's a surprise. Uh, the Queen of England, Camilla, yes, Camilla has slammed the censorship of literature as imposing limits on imagination. No, no, man, you're not supposed to. You're only supposed to imagine yourself if you're he, she, him, hit, or they, or I'm just fucked in the head. I mean, I could be, listen, we here, probably all identify as a conspiracy theorist. And, I'm okay with that. And my pronouns would be I told you so. Okay. So anyway, so the queen is upset because they're taking all of Shakespeare and they're queering. I call it the queering of literature. Okay. They're erasing anything that might be offensive. They're even rewriting probably whole sections, and they're going to take out, you go to instead of, oh gosh, I don't even want to say that on air, but bad, bad, Mitch, bad. Yeah. Hey, meanwhile, these so called academics around the world, right, are now calling for World War II style rationing of food and fuel to stop fake ass climate change. That's right. Yes. While the queen is worried about people's language and how the old language is being, eviscerated. Remember, you can't offend somebody. Academics are now calling for rationing of food and fuel to stop climate change. Remember, they want to put you in a 15-minute city. That's just another fucking conspiracy. Oh, no, 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 man. We're not trying to fulfill the UN Agenda 2030 or 2040 or 2050 or whatever dystopian load of shit. We can only hope, that the United Nations is the how should we say it? Is the target, is, of the five nuclear warheads that take out New York City and the Manhattan general area there, because remember, they're going to be big. They're going to be bursting in the air 10,000 feet above your fucking head. Okay. Or less, 8,000, maybe 6,000. And that's what you don't realize. They're not trying to make a giant, massive fucking crater. They got to explode that nuclear weapon way up here, so when it comes down, all the power and the vacuum, the overpressure is comes out and goes out. They just don't want to waste all that energy in a hole into the fucking ground. So, we can only hope that the United Nations, is on their target list. But we all know that the White House and the Pentagon are on their target lists. And because they are well known to have, well, let's just say, um, deep underground bunkers, command centers, nuclear power plant under the Pentagon, probably under the White House too, or supplying the White House. Hard telling what kind of tunnels, deep underground tunnels they have and stuff. So of course, those will be hit with ground impacts, that will make a crater a half a mile deep or some shit, Uh, but we don't need that. We need to stop that. There's more than enough land, there's more than enough food. But the thing is, the corporations and the governments want to control all of us. Each government has their own dogma, has their own ideology, has their own kind of footprint on their nation. Today we see those footprints being erased as the New World Order essentially tries to erase all global national boundaries and bring in the new fucking world order. Okay? There's no doubt this is what they're doing. And it's no doubt they're doing it step by step, the same way they did to move to the frontier of Russia. And it's no mistake that the United States has a plan to balkanize and split up Russia and try to remain the superpower and then take on China. Really. I mean, China and Russia are going to have to band together for their mutual security against, a belligerent empire building Uncle Sam. Our government was never meant to be the way it is today. It was never meant to be this conglomerate of corporate and private interests that essentially control every government function that we have. And that once those groups are controlled, you know, we literally lose control of our government. To think that our congressmen, congresspeople, our House members have any control of this fucking government, it's clearly evident we don't. They don't. Okay? And that neither we the people. we don't have it either. That's what I will say. And when you don't have the control of your government, when somebody else has control of your government, it's essentially like somebody saying, we control your yard, we control your house, we control your school, we control everything under the sun. Ain't no fucking gonna happen. There will be armed conflict in the United States. I have often speculated in a way that the FEMA regions themselves will be used as somewhat boundaries for when this shit starts happening. Because remember, to institute the real lockdowns and the real fear, COVID wasn't enough. And what they found out that even after a little bit, the American people, that wore off the American people. So yeah. Hey, I want to thank everybody for checking in and seeing how I'm doing. We're getting ready to end the live stream. I'm going to take a break, a few minutes, and then we're going to go over to locals.com at 10:30, and we're going to talk about some other stuff. Yes, the VA in Leavenworth, Kansas is bad as I've seen personally. Hey, thanks, Johnny. Oh, that sucks, man. Anyway, thanks everybody. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That way, as I do I'm going to do every morning, I'm going to be on here. I'm going to be cussing like fucking hell. And listen, out of respect for Revolution Radio, understand that, the way the platform is, I shouldn't be pissing on their parade and cussing up my fucking storm because I want to use my language the way I do. Okay. So I'm still producing and I'm still helping out at Revolution Radio. So if you got any questions, comments, or anything, just, hey, leave them down there in the box. I greatly appreciate what you guys do. Thank you, everybody. God bless you and God bless. Good day and good luck. There we go.